Less than a week after the OPS faction pulled a cheap stunt to woo voters in R.K. Nagar constituency, we have received some news that an FIR has been filed against Maffoi Pandeyarajan for parading a replica of the late Chief Minister Jayalalitha's body during campaigning at R.K. Nagar. Okay, let me go straight across now to senior journalist N. Ram on, what's been happening in the state of Tamil Nadu ever since the Election Commission cancelled the by-polls in the R.K. Nagar constituency. Sir, what do you expect to come out of these investigations? Will it lift the lid on years of corruption, deceit that has been going on? What does this mean to, the Dravidian citadel, to the various political parties who are now blaming each other for corruption?
I think it's clear that the main source is the ruling party, and when Jayalalitha was there, and it was clear that it was grand corruption on a scale that few other states have been able to match, and it runs with clockwork efficiency, well-oiled. It was called a scientific system of corruption, and that's what it has been. Sand mining is an example, river sand mining, beach sand mining, granite, and several other departments, I think, are cash cows for the corrupt. And clearly some of that money has come into R.K. Nagar, and by chance the income tax raid, I think, has provided some kind of link, at least prima facie. But what it highlights for me is the complete failure of the Election Commission of India to rein in this, particularly after all this talk about black money. Then the rules of political finance have been changed. You know that the Companies Act has been amended, so on. But at the end of the day, the Election Commission is completely helpless. Even though there were newspaper reports, specific information came in that they were going to pay, or they had already begun to pay 4,000 rupees per voter.
Right.
This relates to the ruling party. Other parties, we don't know what they're going to pay, but certainly this information was not on hand. And the Election Commission was completely helpless doing anything about it. So I don't welcome the cancellation of the poll, but I believe it became inevitable. Nothing else was could have been done. So it's a sad state of affairs, a sad reflection on the conduct of elections in India. Often the Election Commission is praised for organizing the elections on a vast scale, against odds and so on. But when it comes to money, they must accept abject failure.
Right. Absolutely. Let me go straight across to India Today's correspondent Pramod Madhav is also joining us now. Pramod, TTV Dinakaran spoke to reporters a short while back. He remains very confident, completely unfazed over the charges made against him, saying that the Election Commission is deliberately doing this against him. They are the ones who don't want him to win. More updates from the EPS camp. What do they have to say? And give us an update on the questioning that is presently taking place by the Income Tax Department.
Avantika, as of now, we could very much clear that one of the leaders in Tamil Nadu government who is as confident as the earlier leaders is TTV Dinakaran. Even after all this resort, he is not backing off. He still believes that if he had been allowed to contest, he would have definitely won. And he also allegedly said that is the reason EC has cancelled this election. But we also should know that EC, though having a lot of incriminating evidence against Vijay Bhaskar, against being given money or gift distribution in that context at R.K. Nagar, EC does not have any current of direct evidence against TTV Dinakaran. That is to be noted here as well. Election Commission has not called TTV Dinakaran for an explanation except for the using of twin leaf symbol in its social media website of AIDMK Amma, not other than nothing than that. Even though they have stated that 10,000 hats been bought from them by TTV from one sector, which comes up to 30,000 rupees, but upon inquiry they have found out nearly 30 lakh rupees has been spent to buy hats only for R.K. Nagar, even for which TTV Dinakaran has given explanation. Maybe that's the reason he's very much confident about his stand. But right now here, Vijay Bhaskar seems to be the person who has acted behind the scene. This is also an allegation, and that is why the investigation has begun with Vijay Bhaskar and Chittalapakam Rajendran, who are both at this point. Incidentally, Sharath Kumar is also caught in this trap, where another allegation comes that he has taken money to campaign for TTV Dinakaran. That is the allegation over Sharad Kumar, and that is why he's also here. Presently, we believe there is a lunch break for them, and another 30 minutes or so, we expect that the second session might start, Avantika.
Okay, the Election Commission making it very clear that there can be no more scope for backroom wheeling dealings, and therefore they have, taken that big step of cancelling, of scrapping the by-polls to the RK Nagar constituency. Akshita, can we expect more raids to take place in other, ministers or bureaucrats' residences and offices as well?
Well, it remains to be seen, Avantika, what's the result of this particular questioning. But it looks unlikely that the IT department will go forward with these raids, because going by what happened on Friday, which is when the raids took place at Vijay Bhaskar's residence, they seem to believe that they do have concrete proof as of now. So don't see really raids happening post this. But yes, the IT department will look to get down to the bottom of whatever they found so far as incriminating documents are considered. And we have to keep in mind that it's not just Health Minister Vijay Bhaskar who's been someone who is currently being questioned by the IT department. There are several other leaders, several politicals. We know, of course, the MGR University Vice Chancellor also has been summoned. So keeping that in mind, it's very clear that they've already managed to connect the dots. They've already managed to spread the net as wide as it can go. So I don't see any raids happening in the near foreseeable future. Having said that, Avantika, what the IT department so far has dug out clearly has played a very, very crucial role in what the Election Commission has to do and the action that they've taken. It's led to a lot of serious questions as well here in Tamil Nadu. While I've been interacting with a lot of journalists, they've all been questioning whether this really shows how weak the Election Commission is, that they failed to really clamp down on this kind of cash for votes, that they had to rely on an IT department raid to get this kind of details and then take action. Why didn't they manage to clamp down and really catch the thugs who were distributing money in RK Nagar? Has the EC lost its teeth in Tamil Nadu is a question they're asking, because we saw this happen last year. We're seeing this happen now as well. It took the IT department really to step in for action to be taken. Otherwise, for all you know, we'd have seen elections happening on April 12th under the shadow of these alleged payouts and briberies. Oh, and this is despite various videos circulating on social media and otherwise, the same issue that has been raised by senior journalist N. Ram as well. Mr. C. Rajashekaran also joins us now for more on this. A very sorry state of affairs, Mr. Rajashekaran, with voter bribery charges flying across the state of Tamil Nadu amongst various political parties, both the opposition and the government levelling accusation and charges against each other.
See, it is very unfortunate. It is a sad day in the democracy of Indian politics and Tamil Nadu politics. And this has already happened many a times at Tirumangala, under the Kalakurchi and Tanjavur. So all these things has to come to an end. Enough is enough. That is the voice of majority citizens of Tamil Nadu. But I wouldn't accuse only one party, because everybody has distributed cash for votes. Every political party which contested in RK Nagar constituency distributed money. Why did the income tax authorities...
Sir, we're just having a bit of an issue there with your audio. We'll just fix your audio. But if I may go across to Mr. A. Saravanan of the DMK. TTV Dinakaran just a short while back told reporters that it's the DMK who's afraid of the Deputy General Secretary of the EPS faction of the AIDMK, and they're the ones who are trying to, ensure that he loses in the RK Nagar polls. How do you respond?
Definitely, we want to win the RK Nagar poll. That is why we contest in the elections, and it means that he has to lose. What's so novel about it? See, they want to win this election by hook or crook. This money trail and the money they have pumped into the constituency is unprecedented. See, around 200 crores of money is pumped into the constituency. The Election Commission should not stop with just filing an FIR for a poll code violation or for bribing the voter. I think it should go beyond and also investigate the source of these funds. 200 crores by ministers is unprecedented and unbelievable. This is the money looted from the state of Tamil Nadu. This is the allegation we have been making for the last 5 years, that the ADMK government is so steeped in corruption and they have looted the entire state. And all the money is coming out so that they can continue in office and loot the state in perpetuity.
Absolutely. Mr. N. Ram, do you think that these investigations will open a can of worms for not just the AIADMK, but for other Dravidian parties as well? I mean, just yesterday I was reading that report of how a road caved in on the Anna Salai road. I mean, does it bother you, you know, the state of affairs that exists in the Tamil Nadu ever since Jayalalitha succumbed to her treatment that she was receiving, you know, after her unfortunate demise? What do you make of this, you know, both the factions of the AIADMK resorting to ingenious ways to trick the voter, to bribe the voter just to win R.K. Nagar?
Yes, I think at the moment it's the ruling group that has been caught. But we knew about this corruption when Jayalalitha was there. Actually, in fact, it goes back to her ways of ruling. There was, you know, it's a welfareism has been well developed in Tamil Nadu. The administration functions well, but side by side, you have corruption, grand corruption on a scale that you know, you don't see in many other states. You can say probably that Tamil Nadu is number one when you look at with respect to a system of corruption which is well oiled, which works like clockwork, and you know it's rule bound, rate bound. The whole thing is shared from bottom to top. And that is the money that has been caught here. So I think this really goes back to Jayalalitha's chief ministership. Not that the other party is completely clean, but at the moment, they're talking about a scale of corruption which is unbelievable. And it's good that there's a breach in this. I don't expect everything to come out. I think that requires a much greater political mobilization.
True.
But it's good that perhaps by chance, income tax authorities stumbled upon very interesting evidence.
Right, sir.
Which has put the government in a hot spot.
Absolutely, and we'll just wait and watch what comes out of those investigations and the questioning process. For now, Mr. N. Ram, A. Sarvanan, Mr. C. Rajashekharan, Akshita and Pramod, thank you all for joining us.